Welcome to Cars and Culture on the road, this time in Canada, in Toronto, in one of the hidden vaults in this city, the Dare to Dream Garage. Miles Nadal and his incredible collection going up for sale June 1st. RM Sotheby is going to put it all out there. This is amazing, the ultimate dream garage and the ultimate kind of man cave or bucket list, if you will. It starts here with the Fiat 500 and his excellency and continues on. Come on with me. We start here with Ian Poulter's 1985 288 GTO and likely to go for maybe upwards of $4 million. An incredible vehicle. Let's just continue on to a whole host of Ferraris. This is the red section modeled off of what Ralph Lauren did in his own collection. He wanted to see red every day, and what Miles has done is collected all of the red cars in this end of it. Of course, you see all the replica trophies, some unique trophies, or some original trophies rather, but mostly replicas of Formula One Grand Prix, Rolex 24, Daytona. So incredible collection, especially the color on this. Here you have a 67 GTB 275 4-cam, Lusso next to it, which is a 64, then a Daytona Berlinetta 73. When you look at all of these in a row, this is one of the greatest Ferrari collections. By the way, let's look at the nose here on the Formula One car, which you know, those of you will know was incredibly iconic throughout the era of Michael Schumacher and onwards. So let's spin around now and we'll go with Simon Cowell's Bugatti Veyron, which, as the curator here told me, is probably one of her least favorite cars to drive because it takes 100 miles an hour before you can actually hear it. Then, of course, you have one of the more beautiful vehicles with the Lamborghini next to the Maserati. And then we move on to the Aston Martin, which Daniel Craig has been rumored to have driven a very similar, almost a nod to the muscle car era. Aston Martin DB AR1 Zagato. And then, of course, before they built sports cars, they built tractors. And we get into one of the most iconic original Lamborghinis that exists. Porsche GT2 over here. The amphibian car that apparently had 13 seals that needed to be closed, and if they weren't, it would sink. You'd find a lot of them at the bottom of a lake. BMW Isetta over here in the corner, just kind of tucked very quietly here. Those who know the Isetta will appreciate the origins of BMW. Spin around and you've got the first Viper from the 5th gen, the last gen Viper. 73 Countach here, Porsche Carrera from 73, the Carrera RS 2.7, 62 Vet here in the corner, 911 Turbo. Tucked here in the corner, I mean, just brilliantly placed here before all the movie scenes, Porsche 356A Speedster. And then down here, Miles has put almost every iconic movie poster that you could ever imagine, from Days of Thunder to Casino Royale. It is a wall of movie posters, all of it being sold. So now moving into this part of the wing, you got the Porsche Cayman GT4, you've got the Corvette split window. This, by the way, was known as the Devil's car with the red and the black. Serial number on this is 666, appropriately enough. We go over here, the Speedster Anniversary Edition, Porsche Roof BTR, slant nose, 2006 Ford GT in the corner, the Frog Eye right here, which is obviously incredibly rare. And speaking of rare, we get into the Mercedes-Benz SL Gullwing. Right over here, Jerry Seinfeld's car, actually, that apparently, as the story goes, Jerry's boat used to be parked behind Miles's boat. Well, he ends up with Jerry's actual car. Jaguar XK150, Bugatti Type 35B Persong recreation, and then the D-Type replica here. We go back around, we have more McLarens and Ferraris, McLaren 720S. We have the Enzo, we have the LaFerrari, we've got the 57 300 SC Mercedes, which was apparently supposed to go to the Belgian royal family. The XJ220, there's only 270 left in the world. The 918 tucked into the corner, and then one of 99 Lotus motorcycles with a KTM body that's underneath. So this is the car collection, or at least part one of it. We're gonna see part two in a moment, but let's spin around and let's go over to the shoe collection, because if you're a collector and you're gonna collect the greatest things possible, well, why not start with the greatest shoes, or the origin of the shoe? And let's go right here to one of only 12 pair, they think, of the original Nikes that exist in the world, hot off of Bill Bowerman's waffle iron, the treads that were developed for the track surfaces, and there they are. So we go from the originals to these. 800 odd pair here that will be auctioned off. We start with Michael Jordan's game-worn signed Air Jordans, the Raptors championship in Toronto, game-worn shoes, all signed here as well. And this stuff you just don't see. So the Nike mags that are here with, of course, the ability to adjust them as you see fit. Pigeons, the Wahlburgers Nikes, every possible superstar, that not only their shoes that they wore, but their game-worn jerseys too, and also signed. Speaking of Jordan, speaking of Brady, and how about a Super Bowl champion Mahomes, signed as well. So this is the Dare to Dream garage now, with about everything that you could possibly imagine, from Le Mans cars to replica Formula One cars that were used. These were passed around during the Formula One seasons, Ferrari as well as Mercedes-Benz. There's a Jimmy Johnson car over here if we take a walk, and a bit of a surprise that you'll see as we round the corner. And by the way, posters of iconic racers, very much a nod to the history of everything that's gone on in racing. Is Sterling Moss and Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna, and funny cars as well. There's Jimmy's 48 as well. Jeff Gordon's Rainbow Warrior champion, Dale Earnhardt Jr. You've got, you have kart vehicles, Hondas, Formula Ones, motorcycles. I mean, replicas of Formula One cars. It's Enzo Ferrari is an inspiration on the walls, next to Bruce McLaren, next to Michael Schumacher. An absolute treasure trove of history here in terms of racing. So go from cars to sneakers to racers to some of the best in the world, and even NASCAR winning trophies. So continuing on with things that will go in this dream garage auction, if you will. The F40 we have here, of course, pristine condition, just incredible. And then going all down, the slant nose, the Defender. I mean, you just don't see. We saw this in Bruce Meyer's collection, and actually Jay Leno probably more than anything else. But just an incredible collection of iconic vehicles, just stuff that you just don't see in any collection, including Chip Foose's first car, Ford 3-window coupe, an absolute custom masterpiece. We've talked about Chip Foose before on the show, but now you see something living and breathing that's right in front of you. So from Chip Foose all the way back around to the F40, this is just another part of what's going to go in the 100-plus collection that Miles has put together. Thanks for being with us on Cars and Culture on the Road from Canada, from Toronto, in the ultimate dream car garage.